just looks at me and goes,
Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know where Julie disappeared to, but
She's getting the other lady.
okay, well, my part's first.
oh, good.
Yay. So actually live.
It's working.
It's working. Yay. I don't like my profile though. I need to face straight to the camera. Profile's too wide.
Introduce yourself.
My name's Buddy. Oh no, wrong meeting.
that's
So
the
wrong
wrong
meeting.
place.
Yeah. It's been that's confessional. I can't have to say that.
Yeah, okay.
How many days has it been? I don't know that we're going to get any takers on the live because we didn't advertise it that way. So kind of doing it just to play a little bit. Stella, how are ya?
Hi, Buzz.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
We found the broken one. So I emailed them already. As soon as she told me, I just brought the email. Send them an email, they'll send me a cylinder. It's his third one. No, we bought a lot of chairs.
There's a gasket.
It's a cylinder, the hydraulic cylinder. They set the whole thing.
Seal.
Yeah, seal goes out.
You're still at my cylinder seals.
Well, I sat in it.
I woke you up. Dang.
Jeez, I didn't eat that much for lunch. He said on one it didn't happen. I thought, oh dear.
You didn't cause it.
We used to do that at work all the time. Walk behind somebody and grab the lever.
Oh, I wish I'd known that when I was working. That was kind of fun.
Sure gets an eye opener.
Burns is still going, huh?
I don't think she's ever gonna quit.
So the parent company of AccuQuilt, no, I'm just kind of chatting until my wife gets here. The parent company has changed. So the company's called Craftful now, spelled with Q, Qraftful. And they handle Arrow Sewing Furniture, AccuQuilt, June Taylor, and there's at least two more other companies that I can never, unless they're in front of me on paper, I can never remember the names of them. One of them is a more industrial cutter, like the AccuQuilt only made for more things. And there's another one that is a memory quilt company, so they do t-shirt quilts. You sent them t-shirts. Okay.
We just take a seat.
Yeah, wherever you'd like.
Oh, hi, Stella.
Hi, I snuck in.
Good to see that. So glad.
I might have to edit a little bit of the front of the video off because it's going to be so long with nothing going on.
Feel free to move however you would like to.
Yeah, wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah.
I'll scooch in.
And there is snacks over there. If you would like to have a snack.
Should we get a couple more?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
I think Diane Weissman's going to, and then Gal is checking out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Carol?
Hi, Carolyn. I'm Freddie.
She's my neighbor.
Used to do dolls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, help yourself.
You know, I have a little trouble doing what sewing I do. Frog one, some kind of time.
Oh, thank you.
This one's black.
I think it's funny too.
It's just so wonderful.
And that flute player. Oh, yes. The first time I heard was a piano teacher's recital, and then my girlfriend posted that they were going to be there. It's so good.
Oh, wow, okay.
Who would think this one,
Go ahead.
Hi guys, for the video's sake, I will say I'm Julie Hammerhand with Creative Stitches in East Helena, Montana. And we have a demo that we're gonna do for you showing off AccuQuilt and the Easy Piecing Grid by TenSisters, and how the AccuQuilt makes this so easy to whip out a quilt like nothing. What were you doing?
Turn the bell down
Oh, yeah.
and then tripping over stuff.
Yeah. And so Buddy's gonna start, he's gonna talk about the different cutters and what they do and what the dies are all about. And then I'm going to have you all gather up here and we'll do a demo with this TenSisters. Have any of you seen, I know Freddie, you've seen the TenSisters. You all have?
I have.
Yeah. Okay,
Have a
good.
mix.
We
Good.
have a mix, awesome.
Okay, so let's talk AccuQuilt. We kind of talked a little bit about the parent company. I need to squeeze. The parent company is Craftful. They have Arrow Sewing Furniture, AccuQuilt, June Taylor, and a couple other companies, one with a bigger cover and one with a memory quilt setup. So you send them your t-shirts and they make the quilt for you. So anybody who's ever done a t-shirt quilt, just let us know. We'll turn you on to that company because you probably don't ever want to do it again. But we're going to talk about AccuQuilt. This is AccuQuilt's entry level cutter. This is Go Me, the Go Me starter kit. And it is the smallest cutter. It uses the smallest dies. They have to be the 6-inch wide dies only. Can't be any wider. Or obviously they won't go through. And then it graduates up. So we have Me, put this one up here. And then we have Go. So this one probably is going to look familiar to a few people. So this is Go. This is this is what they started with.
You're out of the camera.
Oh darn. I'm not in the camera. Okay, I'll move it up here. Put it on top of her stuff again. So this is Go Me.
Let's go.
This is Go. Yeah, that's Go Me. That's Go Me. This is Go. And it'll take the 12-inch dies, but you crank them through by hand. So physical exercise required. One-handed physical exercise required.
Yeah, you have to go back and forth and try. You can go the other direction, so
Okay.
you can roll this way
Yeah.
or this way.
And you can turn it around so you're using your other hand, you know, just whatever. So the number of dies increases, of course, that you can use with this one. And when we're talking about dies, showed you this one. What the die is a cutter. So there are really sharp little blades in the lines here. You lay your fabric in there, you put the mat on top of it, run it through the cutter, and it brings the blades up and cuts your fabric. Lay your fabric however you want to cut it in here. She's going to actually do it here in a minute, but I'm just kind of talking about the hardware, the different options that we have. You need this one, right?
I will, yeah.
Okay. So those are the two. This is the entry level Go Me. This is their starter machine. That's what they started with. That was the original one. Then they got electric. It's like, oh, people are tired of cranking. So they went and made Go Big. This is Go Big. Electric cutter. And this will do any die that they make. And we'll talk about all the different dies here in a minute. Show you some more. They also make a die catcher, which doubles as a hiding place for the power source. So your power cord goes in and out, but the big block for the power cord is inside the die catcher. And then the latest cutter is Go Bolt. So this is the whole thing, the whole cutter. Very nice, very portable. They make a backpack that you can carry it in. It is relatively heavy, but so is Me. me is surprisingly heavy. In fact, me weighs more than Bolt does. So they really did a good job. This month they released the battery for this. So they have a battery pack that you can charge and take along, so you can go anywhere. You don't need power. Of course, you're limited to however long the battery lasts. But they have the die catchers for the Bolt. This one you have to have a die catcher. Well, you don't have to. Optionally, you can put a die catcher in the front and a die catcher in the back. They do double as a hiding place for the power source as well. And I probably better plug that back in so she can use it. So that's the covers. There's 4 different options on covers. The dies, all sorts of dies. I showed you the strip cutter. This one is a wavy. So it's waves, 2 little, and this side it's both, cuts both sides.
Kyle added it to her applique sample that's out there, so you can take a look.
She actually used this fabric with the backing on it. She put the applique backing on it and then cut it. And we actually made these stars. We ran it through to make the stars. This one is the star die. Now, if you only want the small star, you put your fabric up there, but you only cover the small star with the mat, because it will only cut where there's a blade, fabric, and a mat. If you put the mat over the other ones, it'll leave a matte impression. You can see every one that we've cut, both sides of the mat. So the mats do wear out. That's your one expendable. They aren't horribly expensive. We have them out here if you want to look at them.
Don't they?
A lot of them are in a 2-pack. I think we can get 1-packs and 2-packs. I think the ones we have are 1-packs currently.
Lay that one down, the double one down, so I can see better.
So you can see over it?
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. All right. There's all sorts of dies, half square triangles. This is about the only thing that would make me do anything with a half square triangle. I hate triangles. I don't like the piece, period. So that's not my thing. And then they have shapes of all sorts. They have 2,800 products. We do not have all of those products in store. But if you find something you like on AccuQuilt.com, let us know, because we can get it. The things that they're putting on sale every month, we are putting in so that it shows up on our website, even though we don't necessarily have it in stock. And if it says sold out, that just means we need to special order it. I order on Monday, they show up on Friday. Normally, that's dependent on the 2 shipping companies. I won't give them free advertising.
Can you use regular fertilizer?
Yes. You can do up to 6 layers in these dies. You can do up to 6 layers of fabric.
That's with the electric. With the hand crank, it's 4 layers.
Okay. So you can do 4 or 6 layers of fabric. And you can do other things. You can do a full quilt sandwich, but that counts as all your layers.
3 layers.
Yep. And you can do leather, counts as all your layers. You can do cork, you can do anything that would equal 6 layers of fabric. Now, the newest dyes, which are bright orange, we have some out on the floor, are called grizzly dyes. And they are their newest thing. They only have a 2.5-inch strip cutter and a 1.5-inch strip cutter. They will cut 12 layers of fabric. They're a little wider, and they only go in the big. So you have to have it go big to run those through.
Does stabilizer count as a layer?
Yes. Sometimes more, depending if you're using a heavyweight stabilizer, you may want to count that as 2 layers. Yeah. You just don't want to get too thick. You'll know if you do. When she runs it through, you'll hear it,
Uh-huh.
and because she'll run it at the max. And when you run something through that's too thick, it bogs it down.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
And it wears your mats out quicker if you do that.
Right.
I'll show you a bad mat. When
Yeah.
it happens eventually. So I don't even know how old this was. I think it came from Cheryl's days. But yeah, it cracked eventually.
Sure.
So that's why when you're running them, you want to keep moving the mat different directions every time you pass it through, so that it's not cutting in the same exact spot. Yeah. Kind of do that with your cutting mat too. You don't want to cut the same spot in your cutting mat 100,000 times. You know, we've been through so many mats for the shop because we cut a yard.
Yeah, we're always cutting on those same lines. They'll get messy. So you have the option of 4 different cutters. They have a promotion going right now called Ready, Set, Go. So it is a cutter and a group of things. This quote in the day book, a block. So this is a block of dies. All of the dies inside of here, a pattern book, all of the separate 8-inch block dies. Something I didn't talk about in the first demo is they now have software very similar to EQ8. It's called AccuQuiltable. It's a software program you put in your computer. You tell it, if you have the block maker, you tell it which dies you have, and it will tell you which blocks you can make. And you can design quilts in it. It'll give you how much fabric, what size to cut, what thing to use. It's very helpful. You can build patterns out of it, but there's still some work to build patterns.
They don't do instructions.
Yeah, there is no instructions. It's just quantities and, that kind of thing. They do sell, if you have dies, if you're already an owner and you have some dies, they do sell the die storage boxes in the sizes. So if you have the square dies or the block on board, some of these are considered block on board dies. So when you use them, it cuts the entire block. They have the storage boxes for those individually. And they're not horribly expensive. So in that Ready, Set, Go is a block, an 8-inch block, the book, the cutter, a strip cutter, and a mat. All in one single bundle price tag. You'll notice on the floor, they're taped together so that we don't accidentally sell them individually.
So I don't understand the strip cutter. That's a die?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yep. So this cuts 2.5-inch strips.
Okay.
The blades are straight down these lines. And you don't want to push on those, and you don't want to set this on the floor and step on it, because those are razor blade sharp inside of there. They make a little pick that you can go in and pick the fabric out, because they'll get fabric down in there a little bit. There's a little pick that you can clean them out with. Keep them working. They are really a really great company to work with. I have a single point of contact that I can talk to. I can say, hey, I have this and it's doing that, and she'll say, replacement's on its way, or whatever. I mean, they're really, really good to work with.
What about jamming? I mean,
It happens. You get too much, it'll jam in there.
easy to, I mean, when I use the Go, I mean, I get a jam, and sometimes it's, you gotta tug and pull
Sure.
and tug, but are these easier with the electric ones, or does it about the same?
Have you ever jammed the electric one?
Does it have to reverse?
No, but if you have fabric hanging on the side, yes.
Yeah.
and you're trying to go through, it will, if it's too much fabric. So I try to cut my fabric just a half an inch over the blade. So I'll measure my die, and then I'll measure from like half an inch on each side of the blade, and that's the strip I cut to put on here.
Okay.
If it's hanging over a little bit, a couple inches, it won't hurt. But if you get like 3, 4, 5 inches of fabric hanging over the side, it will all bunch up and crinkle and get very wrinkly, and it's real hard to get the wrinkles out. So,
Does the electric have a reverse?
Does
does the electric have what?
reverse, no, it does not.
No.
So if you get it jammed in there, you just pull it out?
Shut off, pull back, yeah.
Yeah.
The blocks come in 8, 10, and 12. There's also specialty dies, log cabin. I had one of my log cabin ones sold before we ever got it. I have to go through them, but out of the 2,800 things, I think a solid 1,000 of them are dies.
So they have a 10-inch block square.
They 10-inch, yep. I mean, a 10-inch and a 12-inch. They're sitting on the table. The 12-inch box is this big. It's huge. It's- For each one of those, they also have the companions. So this is angles. And you notice it's got the trapezoid, the kite, the triangle. Yeah, right? And then this one is corners. So it has all the pieces to make corners. Companion kits for the blocks. It's a lot. If you expect me to know it all, I'll tell you I do. I'll tell you, I'm lying, but I'll tell you.
Well, that's Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll say, buddy. Usually what I do, somebody walks in and starts talking AccuQuilt, they want something, I run and open the computer and run to AccuQuilt.com and search it by name. It gives me the number, I put the number in the computer and I tell them how much it's gonna cost them. But it's the same price as AccuQuilt. We match all of their specials, all of their, like I said, the only things that I'm really putting in every month are the stuff that they're putting on special, that they're selling. There's, starts today, actually, there's a half a dozen dies that are their older ones that they've got set at has to go price. And they're cheap. $150 die, about $60.
So is that, they're on sale for a month or?
Till the end of the month. It's usually like 2-week spans. They start them in the middle of the month and run till the end, or until those supplies run out. Yeah. What'd I miss?
I think you did what you
I
supposed
think I did what I did.
Alright, so now I'm gonna show you.
Oh. We missed the case.
Yep.
So this has the go big in it, so it can tell you that do fit. You can put any.
The big one,
Yeah. You can put any of the colors in this. There is also room for the die catcher. Same thing with the backpack and the bolt. There is room in the backpack for one die catcher. Makes it a little less portable. This is wonderful because it's set up like a suitcase. So you can carry it, you can roll it, fairly easy lift. You can strap this crazy thing to the back. You don't have to do it at the top like I did it. You can strap it back here where it's just at the right level. I did that because I wanted everybody to see it.
When you have it all the way down, it interferes with rolling it though.
Yeah, it is dragging on the hook. So I think if you mount it upside down, it doesn't.
Is that part of the?
This whole case is by itself, separate sale. They're $255 normal price, $219 on sale. Everything AccuQuilt in this store is right now 10% off of whatever price is marked, which is the sale price. So it's sale price minus 10%.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go play tech guy.
I will have you guys gather around me. TenSisters Easy Piecing Grid is a product that we came across a few years ago. We've been carrying it. It's been a while since I have promoted it, so that's partly why I'm doing a demo today. But some of you have seen me do this before. I love the Easy Piecing Grid. I will be teaching a class using this mosaic pattern. And the night before I do the class, I will have a trunk show, and I will bring as much of all my stuff that isn't in a box hiding somewhere. And my sister's stuff and Kyle's stuff that she's made, and anybody who's done one and wants to do a show and tell. So, and then you get to see some of the things. My fish that I showed you, I did that on this grid.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, 6,500 squares in my fish that I made. Inch and a half finished. Yeah, so they come in different package sizes. You have the regular piece, this regular panel, they're called panels. And there's a bumpy side, that's the adhesive. And they're very lightweight. You know, the competitor for TenSisters is Quilt Smart. And I have been told, and my experience is that this Easy Piecing Grid sticks way better. This particular sample has been in my box for months, and the squares have not come all the way off. Probably need to reheat it because a few are coming up, but that's how strong the adhesive is. Yeah, I mean, it's been years because I taught this class a few years ago at Bismarck, North Dakota show, and so this is what we had. So you start with a panel like this, and then you put your squares on. This particular one is 1.5 inches finished, so they're 2-inch squares. And the dies, these strip dies, they make them in every size, and they've just added quarter sizes. So now you can get 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, to 1 3/4. So I have all the whole and half sizes at my house, and I use it every time I cut a quilt out. I'm using these dies, particularly the strip dies, because I can make squares and rectangles like that. All of these squares that I have here, plus what I'm doing here, I did in about an hour this morning. So, and that was me trying to make decisions about which fabric I wanted. So it does take some time. So and I started working on this, and I take the glue stick and I follow my guide. It's kind of like counted cross stitch. So this is a panel. And in the books, I have some books you can look through. This will be your pattern. And then it tells you how many squares you need of each of the colorway. And sometimes it gives you yardage. Sometimes you have to figure that out and do some math. But so I have just been following. I put my little key up there, and I've just been following the squares as it is on the picture. And so this uses 1.5 panels. So sometimes you don't use a full panel. Sometimes in the books you might have 1 row you need at the end that you cut out of the panel. I use these panels when anything on a grid that's the same size square, you can use this. And so sometimes I will use it when I'm making a quilt, like we did a block of the month, and the whole center of the quilt was 2.5 inch on a grid. And so I put that center on it, cut my time in half, and I wanted to make sure that that center was very square. So as I built off of it, it could keep being square, and it worked really, really well. And so they come in 1/2 inch finished, 1 inch finished, 1.5 inch finished, 2 inch finished. This is the 2 inch finished. So it's actually a roll up. Can't say jelly roll anymore. And so I just put my strips on here and cut them into the squares and I'm ready to go. And they come in different package sizes, 6 panel, 12 panel, and 20 panels. And the books, the patterns tell you how many panels you need. This one needs 2 panels, and it turns out to be a panel and 3/4. So, any questions about that?
Have you ever used a serger, putting it together?
No. I don't know that that would work. I'm not sure. Because when you do it, you have to clip your seams to get them to lay flat. So I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
So this is with just the squares. And TenSisters, the other thing that they did versus other brands is they left you room around your square. So when you fold it right sides together, you don't have fabric in your fold. And then your squares, if they're a little wonky, as long as they're in the seam allowance, it won't matter.
Okay.
So you're gonna sew 1/4 inch right sides together all the way one direction, all the way to the end. And then that's what this will end up looking like. This is sewn one direction. So it's been sewn this way. And so then when you do that, you're gonna come here and you're gonna clip your seams up to your 1/4 inch seam. And so then when you go to sew, your seams are perfectly nested. So you don't have to try to use pins and get them to slide into each other. No blood on your quilts from pins. Yeah. So
where do you have to clip? I'm not sure I get
okay, yeah, so it's gonna be like,
And you have to do that at every row?
yeah, every intersection. Where does it kind of show you? So like right here, you would clip all those seams.
Right on the sewing line?
After you do the 1/4 inch,
And why do you do that?
so that they lay flat, so that they
Because this one
nest.
looks like it's laying,
It needs to be pressed better.
but clipped too?
Yeah, it is clipped.
Oh,
It's clipped on the inside before you do the final sew.
okay.
So
Yes.
if you sew this right sides together, so you're gonna have a 1/4 inch right here.
Mhm.
Before you sew it the other direction,
Mhm.
you're gonna clip in these intersections up to your sew line.
The tiling seams.
Yeah,
It's like that too.
yeah. And so then when you go to sew the other direction, then they'll lay flat. And you're gonna try your best to iron them opposite directions. But if you forget one, it's okay, you just do it as you go. You can turn it. You know, if you need to turn it the other direction. But you want them to lay as flat as possible, so take the time to really press. This is where my perfectionism and particularness comes in, is with the pressing, because I want these seams to be, I want it to be as flat as you can. And so then you're gonna sew it this way, all the way. The right direction? No, this way. No, that's right, this way. And then you're gonna have something like this. So as you can see, all of those seams are perfectly intersected. And if you look at all these quilts, that will be the same. All the squares come together. So if you have a pattern that has a half square triangle, you want to be sure to cut your fabric big enough to make the half square triangle and make that, and then that becomes your square. So any kind of little pieced unit, I know there's a pattern I want to try, and she has a square and she snowballs the corner. And so when it's all together, it looks like an illusion, like circles instead of squares. So yeah, you would snowball all your squares first and then put them on the grid. So, and you can do anything that is in a grid on this.
So how do you get from your strip over there, your 2-inch strip, to
I will
this?
show you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with a chunk of fabric. See, I cheated by doing strips already cut. So I'm gonna show you how you do it to cut the strips first. For this size of die, the 2.5 inch squares, you can get 16 squares out of one strip. So we're gonna fill this whole thing with strips in a minute. And so you will be in awe. Okay, so I always go just right over the blade. Here's the blade. Can you see?
Blades ever wear out, get not sharp?
I have never had the blades wear out. I've had mine probably 10 years.
You probably nick them if you can.
If you obey
put
the
a pin in
rules,
there or something.
well, yeah. But if you don't get your thick layers,
If they last
they
long.
last, yeah. I have not had to replace one die.
It's good to know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna slide this as far to the edge of that blade as I can, make sure that it's all, the blade covers all of it. And now I'm gonna fold this, because I don't wanna waste any fabric.
Oh,
And so I'm gonna fold this, so the fold is just right over the blade. So, and then we're gonna, should have ironed this first, I'm sorry. And I do use starch, and it does not impact the blades or the cutting. And the trick is you want this to be straight, and you want it to be straight on this 90 for your strips to come out straight. So hopefully that wrinkle doesn't throw things off. So we're gonna put the mat on. Doing these backwards is a little interesting. Normally I have my cutter this way, so I'm feeding like this. However, if you're left-handed, it'd probably be the opposite. Well, that wrinkle throwed it a little, but this is my waist. So, yeah, so like I said, I will measure like quarter inch, half inch over each side of the blade and measure that. And that's the size of the strip I cut to start with. And now we're gonna make squares. Now, you can do rectangles too. You're just gonna choose, like if the pattern says to cut 3 2.5 inch strips and then subcut into however many 2.5 by 3.5 rectangles. Then you start with this die, then you get the 3.5 inch one and you turn it this way. So I take the width of fabric and I get that fold right over the blade. I'm gonna use one that's not wrinkled as much. So it does impact, yeah. Oh, this one didn't cut all the way through. That's weird. So we're just gonna do this just for demo purposes. If that happened in real life, I would measure. All right, we're gonna do this way then.
And that other one there works just like this one did, like what you did.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yep.
don't have any built-in window.
Everything works the same, just electric versus hand crank.
Big one for the team.
And I put my fingernail right where the other blade is, just a hair over, and then I fold up. Double check to make sure all the raw edges are even and it's right on this 90-degree line. And we're just gonna use this one too, because it's right there. And I do one strip, because that's enough layers. And then I'm gonna fold it back down. And I make sure that it's all lined up on both of this. That cut funky.
Which part was that?
Wrinkles or
The
something.
wrinkle, yeah.
All right, well, you guys get the picture. So, and then I might start down on this side because I know I'm gonna be straight because of that 90-degree. And I will do the same thing. I will fan fold it down. Make sure that that's all straight. Sorry, because I'm trying to hurry.
So is that considered four layers or is that considered six?
6.
Six, okay.
Yeah, but this works on my dough. I don't have any problems with it. So then I'll fill my thing up and fill this till we meet in the middle, and then I know we're building off of this straight line, so I know we're gonna be straight. 'Cause that's the one thing, you don't want it to shift and slide. So I always pay attention to my mat and hold it with one hand so that I know it's not gonna move on me. So I've had that happen. Okay.
Timed out.
Yeah. You said there was a setting to where, or something you can do so it doesn't time
Yeah,
out.
I think when you turn it on, if you hold the button, then it stays on. I think I seem to remember that training.
And you wanna slide the mat off because of the static. So that they stay neat, otherwise they'll fly everywhere. And this is your waist right here. That's it. Which you would have anyway, even if you cut the strip, you would still have that amount. And so then you can just pick them up. And each one of these is 16 squares. And to figure out how much yardage you need, then you do a little bit of math to your size of strip, do a test run, see how many you get out of the strip, and then add that to your yardage. So, and those didn't cut through, but something went wrong when I cut it the first time. So yeah, so that's it. And it's the same concept with a strip, pre-cut. You lay it down, and for some reason, these particular strip rolls are a hair bigger than 2.5. So when I'm putting them on here, they're overlapping just a little bit. But then it'll be all right. So you just do it like that and then run it through. And you come up with this in about an hour.
With the grizzly die, the 1.5 grizzly die does 7 strips. They're 24 inches long. You can do 12 layers. So if you do all the strips and you turn them and do all the squares, you get 1,000 squares.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, you got to be working a big project to care about that. But
Yeah.
you get 1,000 postage stamps just like that.
And these are the 2 jelly rolls that I cut up, if you're curious. And these are some of the books. This is the latest She has a ton of free patterns on her website, and then patterns that are 99 cents. So this mosaic one that I'm working with, this one is one of her free ones online.
So
Or
just go
was
to
when I
Ten
bought it.
Sisters.
Mhm.
And that's-
TenSisters.com. And then these are the books, and she has this handy cheat sheet. We have a flyer of this on how to do 4 at a time or 8 at a time. Have square triangles. And she does have 10 sisters and then 7 brothers. All, no duplicates and all from the same parents. So like here you have a log cabin, and this is the pattern. So each one of these is a panel. And so when I do this, I will fuse, before I sew anything, I will fuse all these panels together. And you do that by taking a panel. I don't have this size, so this is 1.5 inch finished, so they're 2 inch squares. And you will cut one side of the panel flush, and you will lay it on top of the grid. You will line these X's up with the second panel. You will fuse it, and then you sew. And so when I do that, I fuse an entire row together, then I sew. And then I'll fuse an entire row together and I'll sew. And I'll do that all the way down. So the only pinning and matching seams I have to do is when I sew those rows together. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
faster.
it is faster. And it's called easy piecing because Carmen calls it piecing. It's just a different way to piece. So it's not a cheat. But yeah, all of these, and these are all your fabrics. On this one, she does give you yardage and then tells you how many squares that you need for that pattern.
So you piece this together first, so you have a long piece of
I fuse
back.
it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you have that whole section and then you can just place.
Yep, and so it will look like this multiplied.
Mm-hmm.
So the next panel, I would cut all this off. I would cut to the edge.
Mm.
And then I would lay that panel with the squares on top so they line up right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it just is a continuation of this.
Gotta make
And
sure
then-
you cut the right edge off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or else you have nothing to
You
fuse
sew
to.
it separate,
No, we're not selling it individually. We have the packages.
packages.
They do have there's a sampler that has 2, 2, 2, and 1. So 2 2-inch, 2 1.5 2 1 inch, and 1 1/2 inch finished sizes
And
in that sample pack. So you get a good sample of all of this.
Kyle has made some little kits that are small, like 2-panel projects. If you want to grab one of those to try it, you put the fabric in and everything and the grid. So all you have to do is start. So, and she just came out with a tote bag panel, and we have that out there. And I will be teaching that class in the fall. I'm probably going to do this table runner. We haven't set an exact date, but maybe the end of July, beginning of August sometime. And so we will work on the table runner together.
The tote bag one's fun because it comes with the panels to do it in 1.5 inch. But you can get the panel kits to do it in any size, and you can make all 4 sizes.
Mhm.
So the bags finish at different sizes.
And she had, on all the patterns, she has like 1-inch finish, comes out to this size before you put borders on. So you know which, according to what size of quilt you want, which size square you should use. Or if you need to add borders, usually we add borders to it. But, monochromatic, I think the illusion one is in this book.
Does that one have the one your sister did?
No, that's in the other one, I'll show you. So, yeah, we'll do a trunk show,
That's cool.
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's kind of like my QR code.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be, try not to get dizzy. But so you can do modern stuff, you can do traditional, This one I have on my bed,
Heirlooms.
and I will bring it for the trunk show. And I am happy to have you inspect it closely. Which is not something you ever say to anyone.
I can tell you there was tears and gnashing of teeth, but it is perfect.
The great thing too is you get to preview what you're doing. So if you have a block that's upside down or something's not right with the color, you can see it before you sew it. So that has come in very handy. You lay it out on the floor and get a look at it. So here's like an example of all different kinds of blocks. So if you want to just make blocks and combine them all together, you can. There's already patterns. Here's another really great one with half squares. So you're welcome to take a look at these books.
But can you go back?
Uh-huh.
Oh, let me see what that is. I would have, oh, one of these squares. Can you make these off of the dies for those?
Well, you could use the half square triangle die to create your half square triangles. But you're gonna make your half square triangles and then they become a square.
Okay, all right.
And then, so this would be a square. So you would put white, your half square, white, white, your half square, white.
Okay,
So that's,
so you'd still have to sew that to, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it now. All
You
right.
have to make your half square block.
you make your half
Okay,
square
now it's-
triangles and then you lay them down and then you sew the rows together.
Now, can you do a white strip and a blue strip and get it that way?
You still have to sew those together.
Yeah.
Because you have to, when you sew the grid together, you're sewing the squares.
Okay,
It has to be,
Yeah, there's no cheat yet
okay.
No.
to get the half squares without having to sew them.
Okay,
because
alright.
you
unfortunately.
know, so you
Got it.
have
Okay.
your,
Yep, I got it now.
Okay.
Yeah, got it now. Understand it, yep.
okay,
It's the reason none of Buddy's quilts have half squares in them.
pardon me?
And 1 inch square.
Yeah,
The 1 inch square, there you go.
Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
and you know, you have the dies that are the half square triangle dies. So, and I don't know what sizes they make in that. I think they're bigger.
But you could put a strip of blue and a strip of white to get you don't have to do all blue first and,
Yeah, different colors.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, so like this, what I'm doing. So, where did my pattern go? So it's kind of beneficial if you do it in chunks. Kind of like a crossword. So when I laid these squares out, I started here, then I went here and here, 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 here. And so I did it in a quadrant. So then it helps me as I'm going through my list here. I did this part. And then I worked on this other corner.
And notice she taped her scraps to the colors that she wanted by the color of the
got you
blocks
there.
on the
Yeah, I
pattern.
just like.
And then you use your little glue stick
I do.
to put them on there as opposed to
Yeah.
ironing it
So-
or something.
It's
Until-
glued down right now.
Uh-huh.
And if you didn't do glue, as soon as you lifted this to go to the ironing board, your squares would be everywhere. Now you could put them on your ironing board if you wanted, but I want to be able to look at it before I fuse it so I can make sure I don't have any squares in the wrong spot. So I always use the glue, and you don't do too much. Then the opposite happens. It's too sticky and they come off.
Yeah.
So I just do dot, 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 dot. Real small dots. And so, yeah, so I will finish. This will be the one panel all the way to the bottom. And then I will take the second panel and I will follow this one. This one will be the second panel. Then I will fuse the two panels together and then I'll sew.
Now, then we'll look at it for a couple hours, then she'll sew.
Yeah, and when I sew this, because it's a length, it's long, I will sew this direction down first. Now, if I'm doing a row, if I have 4 panels in a row, I would do it horizontal. So,
Because you have 2, you're doing vertical.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter either way you go because you're gonna sew one direction, clip your seams, and then sew the other.
It just shortens your long run when you do that.
So I like to, and it's great because you don't have to stand. So I'll sit at my dining table and like what I did here, I pulled the grid all the way down, so it's just right here. And then as I go, I pull it so it's right in my workspace. And it works great if you're sitting and you have like a tray that you could look down on it at. And yeah, so it's fun because you spend, you're playing with your fabric. You don't have to take out Jack necessarily. I have had to take out Jack with the grid. It is possible. It is not very fun.
So how far do you go down before you go over to the machine, to the iron and fuse it then?
When I'm done with this panel,
Oh, the whole thing, okay.
yeah, and then I'll take a second look to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. And then you just put a hot, dry iron right there. And then, and there's directions, and we actually, any of the kits we make, we have her instructions in it. She has a free one online that is the instructions of how to do this. So you don't have to remember everything I've said. It's in her books. And I love her books because I love listening to the story, reading the stories of her family. And her heritage with quilts is pretty awesome. But see, here's the instructions. Very, very clear what to do.
Okay.
And she has a ton of videos.
Awesome.
Any comments, questions?
So you said you have some kits out front, smaller kits,
mhm.
and what else did you say you had? Was that?
We have the packages.
Okay.
Sampler pack.
And they also come in borders. So if you want to add a border to a panel, pick up one of these. And this is on point panel for a border. So these are different size wise. This is, and it tells you it finishes at 8.5 by 72 inches.
And so this is just
Just
grid.
border.
Yeah, skinny, it's a skinny grid.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, and this one is a regular patch border. And in one of these books, it's all row quilts and borders.
That's the one your sister did.
So this. So if you want to make a border around something, you could use this as a guide. Or you could make a row quilt. So here's small. So if you want to just add some little bow ties around your panel, you can. And this is a quilt my sister did.
Wow.
I will have it at the trunk show.
Is that the 1-inch one?
I can't remember if she did 1.5 inch. I think it's 1.5 inch finished, so 2 inch
It's big.
squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But- Looking at it, it looks like it's square, right? It was done 100% with on point.
you start.
They're sewed together diagonally.
Yeah, you use the border,
Yeah.
the border grid,
It's
and
on
you
point
start
with
in the
on point
middle,
borders,
and it's all on point that way.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's very.
so I have everything cut out to do this one in 1/2 inch finished.
There's a piece of 1/2 inch finish sitting up by the grids by the front door. A piece that's put together. It's it's the same as this. That one's got a bow tie in the middle.
So, mini quilts are really popular right now, and you can make a pin cushion and pin cushions too. Pin cushion or a coaster.
Seems as big as that square.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Takes a second mind to want to do
does.
that. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, but so you can see in this book how it's using the border panels. So, yeah. so that, those owls are in this kid's book.
Is that what Gail did?
Yeah, Gail did
The
the,
owls.
and Debbie Martin did the truck. And that is
I just
that's
remember,
one of her free patterns.
I remember Gail working on the owls at one of the retreats.
Yeah, so, you know, here's one that uses 6 panels, so that's not too intimidating.
My eyes are going,